Hello everyone, that was the fantastic Sandy River Belle, great tune, and I thought I'd just do a little tutorial just showing you how I play the tune. It's a really classic old time tune and great fun to play. You'll need a little bit of drop thumbing in there and a few of the left hand slurs, but if you've not done them before, don't worry, I will explain everything in detail through the video. So to start off with, we're going to do a hammer on. So if you've not done that before, basically we're going to play our fourth string, which is a low D. So we're going to play that string and then hammer on to the second fret, which is an E. We're then going to do exactly the same thing on the third string, so G, then A. So what we end up with is this. So it's the same maneuver on each string. So fourth string, hammer, third string, hammer, like that. And what I always recommend with claw hammer is you play downwards with your playing nail on the first note, on the beat, and then on the off beat, so that's the and, one, and, that's where your left hand takes over, and we just move our right hand up so that our right hand is basically ready to then do the next downstroke, rather than leaving our hand here. We'd have to kind of go up to go down again, whereas this way we get the movement just right. So that's that first bit, and then leave your finger on there, and we're going to slide from that note, which is an A, up to a B, which is the fourth fret. So you need to play the A first, and then create the B entirely with the slide. So a pitfall that people often fall into, I find, when I'm teaching, is that they try and do the slide like immediately when they hit the string, whereas what we're actually talking about are two separate quavers or eighth notes. So 1 and 2 and 3 and, not. It's not as quick as that, nor do you play the other string by accident like I just did. So we're going to go 1 and 2 and 3 and then finally 4 and. So we're going to leave that finger on and just do a brush and then a thumb on the fifth string. And that's our first bit. And then we're going to go back to the second fret and we're going to do a pull off this time. So it's like the opposite of a hammer on. So you're going to play the fretted note first, which is your A, and you're going to pull off to a G. So play the note and then use your left hand to pick like that. So we end up with... And then you're going to play two crotchets or quarter notes. So these last for one whole beat. So we've got 1 and 2 and 3, 4. So make sure those notes don't go too fast because you need the ands in between. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So just remember that there's a little gap between those two. And that's why this right hand technique is really useful as well, because if you remember to move your hand up between each downstroke, your right hand begins to act as your own metronome. And those two notes were an E, second fret, first string, and then a D, which is your open first string. And that's the first phrase. And you'll be very pleased to know that the second phrase is exactly the same, apart from the last two notes are an octave down. So what that means is one whole octave lower than this. So it's... And because our fourth string on the banjo in this tuning is is also a D but an octave lower. We just have to do the same thing but on this string instead. So that's 2nd fret and then open. So the first 2 phrases combined are then we get the first phrase again. And then finally we close the A part with this 2-bar phrase. So what I did there was I played the first string and hammered on the 5th fret with my little finger. So we get a D, then a G. You could also get that same note by playing the 5th string, but I prefer the sound of the hammer myself. So hammer, brush, thumb, and then a pull off from the 2nd fret. So that's E to D, and then a brush thumb. So that bar. Like that. And then to finish off with, we're going to play D to B. So there are 2 ways you can do this. You can do a pull off, so 3rd fret, 2nd string, pull off to the open string. Or if you're familiar with drop thumbing, you can play your 1st string and drop thumb the 2nd string. If you're not familiar with drop thumbing, don't worry, I will go through it in the second half. And then after those 2 notes, we're going to do that slide again, A to B. So 2 to 4 on the 3rd string, and then 3rd string, brush, thumb. And that's it. That's the whole of the A part, which you then repeat, and then we go on to the B. Okay, so the B part is a little more complicated, but I shall try and explain it in a way that makes it make sense. So we're going to go into 5th position. So what that means is your 1st finger is going to go on the 5th fret, your 2nd finger 6th fret, 3rd finger 7th fret, little finger 8th fret. It's just so that each finger knows its job. As it happens, all the notes you need are on the 5th and the 7th frets anyway. So don't worry, we don't need those notes as it happens. So first of all, we're just going to fret the 5th fret on the 1st string. So using your 1st finger, so that's a G. And we're basically going to play 3 Gs in a row. So we're going to play 1st string, then 1st string, 5th string. So really simple. And then if you move that 1st finger to fret 5 of the 2nd string and add your 3rd finger onto the 7th fret of the 3rd string, it's quite important that you get both those fingers down. So once you've played this, you're going to move those 2 fingers to that shape there, and I'm going to play strings 2, 3, 2, 5. So that's E, D, E, G. Now you can play that down there. The reason I'm playing it here is because of what comes next, which you'll see in a minute. So drop thumbing, 2, 3, 2, 5. So what I do is, with drop thumbing, I always recommend that your thumb lands on the string that you're going to drop thumb when you do the downstroke. So rather than playing the downstroke and then finding the string, land on the string when you downstroke, and then it's just ready to pick. So that's the first bar of the B part. So that's definitely the hardest bit of the tune, really, probably that bit. So then we get this. So that phrase, 3rd finger up to fret 9. So you're already in 5th position, just move up 2 frets. Put your 3rd finger on 9, which is a B, and you're going to go. So again, it's just 1st string, and then 1st string, 5th string. So B, B, G, then 1st finger on 7, and do the same thing. 1st string, then 5th string, and then 3rd finger back on and do the same thing again. So we get B, B, G, A, G, B, G. So those 2 bars combined. Then we play that 1st bar again. Now, move those same 2 fingers, move them up exactly 2 frets, which means this way. This means up, not that way. Even though geographically that's up. When we say up, we generally mean this way, so meaning up in pitch. So we've just done this. We're going to do exactly the same right hand pattern, but 2 frets up. So you get F sharp, E, F sharp, G. So, and then finish off the bar by flattening your first finger across those first 2 strings and just playing them both. So you get B part so far. Then we play the first 2 bars again. And then finally we finish off by playing the same last 2 bars as the A. And that's the whole lot. So 2 A's, 2 B's, and that is Sandy River Belle. So I hope you enjoy playing that tune. If you like my my playing and my way of teaching, do please support my Patreon page. It's in the description below. You can sign up, and there are absolutely loads of these videos on there, exclusive to patrons, and tabs for everything as well, and a whole bunch of other random videos of me doing what I do. Yeah, either way, even if you don't become a patron, get in touch as well. My website's in the description below as well, so do feel free to get in touch. But thanks so much. Hope you learn the tune. Let me know in the comments how you get on, and happy picking. Cheers.